Aries, hello, I hope you're well. I'm going to chuck some cards around for you. In a general reading kind of a way, so no particular topic, whatever comes up, comes up. Take the energies, apply it to your life as you see fit. I'm going to go in with the Thelema deck for you, my lovelies. Actually, I'm going to open with an oracle card though, but let me shuffle these first. I'm pulling on collective Aries energy, okay, so not necessarily every single message is going to resonate with you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Whenever you found this reading, it's good for you, okay? It's loosely, it's a kind of mid-July check-in, but if you found it, there's something in it for you. King of Swords. Did say I was going to go to Oracle. I will go to Oracle. Okay, these cards want to pop out. Oh, tension. Mine or yours? I know it's Aries, Aries. Chariot. The wheel in reverse. 8 of Wands. Can you see these? There you go. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Swords in reverse. Healing, but coming out of that energy of healing. For most of you, probably. Or there could be a denial that healing is necessary. Yeah. Yes, I think that's it for many of you, because I'm sensing impatience and you just want to get on with stuff. And I don't know if the stuff that needs healing that you're burying somewhat at the moment, so be it. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I mean, you know, it might be what's necessary to survive at the moment, Aries. What do I know? Purity. Patience. Couldn't make it up. Yeah. Like I say, I am feeling a sense of impatience. A foggy bog. There's a sense of just not wanting to tend to not exciting stuff. Healing doesn't sound exciting. Cleansing doesn't sound exciting. Meditating doesn't sound exciting. But there's a sense that your path forward will be much clearer when you do these things. Now this could be quite metaphorical, but it could actually be quite literal and physical in terms of, you know, with the Purity card there, in terms of your physical space, in terms of, you know, if you take 5 or 10 minutes to get certain things in order or certain things decluttered or certain spaces clearer, then actually for the next week everything is much easier. But if you skip out on those 5 to 10 minutes of decluttering or whatever, then actually for the next week everything's so much harder than it needs to be compared to what it would have been if you'd have just taken those 5 or 10 minutes to get a few things in order. But you know, there's an energy of just wanting to forge ahead. I'm trying to think of a better analogy. I suppose it's a bit like, say your knife needs sharpening, but you just don't want to take the time to sharpen it. So you continue to do all your cooking with a blunt knife because you just want to forge ahead and get on. But really, every time you cook, it's taking you about twice as long as it needs to if you'd have just taken the 5 minutes to sharpen the knife. It's that type of energy. I might call this reading Sharpen Your Knife. Yeah, it's this sense of just wanting to forge ahead, get results, get things done. But if you just sharpen the fucking knife, the way ahead would be so much easier. So what's getting in the way of you sharpening the knife? What's stopping Aries sharpen their knife? Sharpening their knife. You know, obviously this is metaphorical, take it as it applies to you. I don't know what like this represents in your life, but what's getting in the way? Okay. Right. Thank you, spirits. I'm probably going to have to pull some more cards though. King of Swords can be very pragmatic energy. It's come out in upright, so it's not like... Pragmatic. Something to do with being pragmatic. You're feeling unable to be pragmatic about something. Why? Why? Four of Pentacles. King of Cups. Right. For some of you it's a reluctance to spend money. So just for... say the only reason, the only way you know how to sharpen this knife, this metaphorical knife, we're going to run with this analogy, Aries. The only way you know how to sharpen this knife is to pay somebody else to do it. But for whatever reason, you are not seeing the value in spending that money to pay someone else to do it. You're like, no, I'm just going to carry on using it. Even though everything takes me twice as long, you know, and even though time is money, I'm going to continue to use my dull knife, my dull blade, my blunt knife to try and prepare all my food, even though I could just give a tenner to someone to sharpen it. This £10 is not worth spending, even though it will cut my cooking time down in half, which means I could spend the rest of my time probably making money that I'd get my £10 back very quickly. It's that sort of thing. But you're refusing to spend that money. You're hanging on to it. This is all a metaphor. I mean, it could be quite literal for you, but it's some sort of situation whereby, yeah, you're hanging on to a resource instead of just understanding or admitting the value of spending the resource and the gains that would come from that. But there's something emotional tied to this that's stopping you, because it's like, I feel like logically you know that's a very pragmatic step to make and that it will serve you well. Logically, like sort of the real world tangible benefits of it are apparent to you, I feel. So what's holding you back from making this pragmatic decision? It's some sort of emotional something or other tied up to taking this pragmatic step. But that's often that often is the nature of pragmatism, isn't it? It's like, well, yes, this would be the practical thing to do, but some sort of value of yours, or value might not be the right word, some sort of belief of yours, some sort of limiting belief of yours is stopping you taking this pragmatic step. So I think really Spirit's asking you to look deep inside and examine what that is. So it could be just a mindset where you don't like spending money, say, in this analogy, to get things done. Or you could be beating yourself, okay, yes, with this analogy, you could be beating yourself up for never having learnt the skill of sharpening your own knives. And like the reason you're not sort of delegating this task is because you're like, well, I've got to learn to do it myself. I'm absolutely useless that I cannot sharpen my own knives. I have to learn how to do it myself. You're not learning how to do it yourself because you're too busy spending twice as long to prepare all your meals than what you need to, because you've got a dull knife, a blunt knife. And also you don't even want to bloody learn how to do it yourself. I think half of you in this metaphor analogy. But somehow there's a load of emotion tied up to that, which no doubt, you know, relates to something deep in your past. And I feel like there's some work there to heal that, okay? And that will bring about, yeah, Page of Swords underneath that. That will clear the path, clear the way for you, which is what I feel you would like to happen, because you are very impatient to move forward. There's also a sense that you feel like luck is not on your side at the moment. Right, and these cards keep reversing themselves, and I would actually like to keep them the way they came out. So there's a sense of being impatient at the lack of progress, not moving forward. Well, you know, yeah, I would be pretty impatient, to be fair, if it was taking me twice as long to prepare my meals because my knife was blunt. But you're not seeing it as your knife being blunt that's stopping you making progress in this grand metaphor that I've created. You're just like, well, it's so unlucky. All this stuff keeps getting in my way that stopping me from moving forward. And I'm just so unlucky that this stuff is in my way. But there's a sense that you can take back control by just sharpening your knife. Because then the stuff that you perceive as being unlucky, would it still be there? Probably, but you'd be able to deal with it much better because you'd have a sharp knife. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, that's the messages I've got for you from Tarot. I feel like that is kind of your only message that wants to come through, to be honest. But let's supplement that with a bit of the old Oracle cards. I'm going to go to Wisdom of the Oracle. And then I'm going to go to the book. So, yeah, sharpen your knife, Aries. An interesting reading. Well, I thought it was anyway. Time to go. 45. Reduces to 9. All your Oracle cards. Oh my god. All your Oracle cards reduced to 9, and you have 2 45s. So this could be time to go, because it's about cutting your losses. Which relates back to that analogy with the knife. The pragmatic decision to cut your losses. Like, you know, it's the pragmatic. You know it'll clear the way, you know pragmatically it's the right thing to do, but there's emotion tied up to it, and that's what's stopping you. Anyway, let's see what the book's got to say. I do see how that could tie in with what I was saying, though. I hope it makes sense to you. And 45, I would Google that as an angel number because it's come out twice in your reading. But also 9, reduces to 9. 9 seems to be of significance. So 9 is not quite closing out a cycle, but nearly closing out a cycle. AKA the wheel in reverse. Also, because the wheel is a 10, but it's not quite a 10 because it's in reverse. So it's just not quite completing something out. it's like an ending, but not quite an ending. Time to go. Endings. Completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. The Oracle's message: you are at the end of a journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learnt. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. Hence the Page of Wands underneath here, really, which is mini Fool energy. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on. If you need to be in transition for a time, your destiny is calling you. So sharpening this knife seems risky. Paying someone else to sharpen your knife seems risky. I'm obsessed with this bloody knife. I'm not going to let it go. Relationship message. It's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is just for some people, you know, for if you were looking for a relationship message. This card for some of you will apply to a relationship, for some of you will apply to career, spirituality, whatever. But I will read it out for the people who this does apply to. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. But it feels very hard for you to cut your losses. Because for so long you've been cutting food with a blunt knife. And it's like... it's just like that. Getting stuck in that mindset of doing it that way because you've done it this way for so long. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe 3 years ago if I'd have sharpened the knife, you know, I would have saved myself all this time, but I never did, so I'm not going to make the decision now. Prosperity message. This message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find the success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. It is time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You've finished your tasks and can rest assured that this ending will open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity. Excuse me. Even better than any you can imagine. You have done all you can. Now trust that spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life, and remember that when you close one door, another opens. But you know this, yeah. Protection message. I'll read this for some of you. Some of you this might be relevant, but the card didn't come out reversed. Even if it appears that you've reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You are in a situation that will resurface again later, so consider this a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map of your destiny. Your soul does. Oh, that's a really nice way of putting that. I like that. Spirit loves you. Trust that. Okay, my loves, I hope that made sense. That was quite an interesting little reading, I think. I'd love to know what you made of it. I'd love to know about your metaphorical knife. Your metaphorical blade. I really would. 45. If the number 45 is of significance, let me know, because I'm sure it is of significance for some of you, and the number 4 as well. But 45 mostly, and the number 9. Maybe some of you are 45. Maybe you live at number 45. I don't know. It's definitely a wink from the universe to some of you, that 45. All right, my loves. Brim full of Asher on the 45. Is that really how that song goes? Or if I just made that up, I'm going to let that... Anyway, I'm going to look that up. But also, that song might be of significance to you, because songs don't come to me in readings for no reason whatsoever. So you may hear that song, say, between mid-July and mid-August, and it's just like a little wink from the universe to you. So just pay attention to kind of what you were thinking or what was happening around you when you hear that song. Or going up or go and look up the lyrics and see what significance they have to you. Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Everybody needs a bosom. Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Thanks, Aries. Thank you for being here. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. I truly love reading cards for you. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, do that because it helps the channel grow, helps you pick up on your energy for next time. Anyway, I'll catch you later.